All right, we're going to do some more exploration with these characteristics of the mean and just working with the mean in general here. So let's say we've got a situation where we have a sample. It's given to us that the sample has a mean of 8 points and that there are 6 scores. The number of scores is 6. So we've got 6 scores in there. We add them all up. We divide them by 6, and we end up getting a mean of 8. Now let's say we've decided to go into our data and we're going to remove a score. We're going to take one of our scores and throw it out for whatever reason. The score we're going to remove is a score of, say, 3 points. What we want to know now is, well, what happens to the mean, and specifically, what is the new mean? So let's start by what happens to the mean. We are taking a score out. Is that score the same as the mean? Nope. So will the mean change? Absolutely. Just like I was talking about earlier with the weighted mean, before we get into calculate anything, what you really should do is ask yourself, well, specifically what's going to happen to the mean? Is the mean going to go up or is the mean going to go down? So I've had a mean of 8 with 6 raw scores in it, and I take one of those raw scores worth 3 points and I throw it in the trash. What happens to the mean? Does the mean go up or down? For some reason, the vast majority of students say it goes down. But let me ask that same question a different way, and all of a sudden everyone becomes a statistics major. You have taken 6 quizzes, and you are averaging 8 points across those quizzes. Then I take one of your quizzes where you only scored 3 and I throw it away. Is your grade going to go up or down? I find that now suddenly everybody knows the answer, right? If a teacher's going to throw away a low grade, it's not to hurt you, it's going to be to help you. So what should happen to the mean? It should go up from 8. We don't know how much up, but the new mean should be higher than 8 points. Well, again, let's remind ourselves of the formula here. The mean is the summation of the raw scores divided by the number of the raw scores. So we need to know for the new mean, we know the old mean was 8. To get to the new mean, we need to know these values once that score is taken out. So the easy thing to note here, to start with, is we had 6 scores. Do we still have 6 scores? No, we threw one away. So the new value for the number of scores is 5. There's only 5 scores left. So we know that it's going to be a 5 over there to get the new mean. The other thing we need to know is what the summation of raw scores is. To know what it is, we have to first know what it was. So for this data as given to us, let's separate it off over here, the summation of raw scores is what? Well, if the mean was 8 and the number of scores was 6, that means that the summation of raw scores was 48. Remember, we just multiply those two things together. Let me move this out of the way. Actually, let me write it over here. So we had to figure that part out. It wasn't given to us, but we used our statistical thinking tools, and now we know that. So the summation of raw scores was 48, but we took a score worth 3 points out of there. So the total for the points is going to go down by 3 to 45. Oops. So to see our new mean, again, we plug and play into the formula. So the mean now for this adjusted sample is 45 divided by 5, which of course is 9. Did the mean change from 8 to 9? Yes, it did. That matches our predictions and expectations. Did it go up? Yes, it did. That matches our predictions and expectations. So we would know that 9 might not be the exact right answer. It is, but we would certainly know it's moved in the correct direction. It looks like it's probably the right answer. Again, predicting. So let's do another one. Let's say we're going to start with the same spot. I have a sample with a mean of 8, and there are 6 scores in it. Therefore, we know the summation of raw scores is 48. Figure that out. We could figure it out again, so we've got it. But now we're going to put a score in. Instead of taking one out, we're going to add a new raw score. And that new raw score is going to be, say, 15 points. And so now we want to know, well, what's the new mean? Well, we do the same thing we just did a minute ago. Think about it step by step. First of all, we had 6 scores with a mean of 8. We're putting in a 7th score with a value of 15 points. Will the mean change? Yes. Will it go up or down? Again, if you think about this in terms that are relevant to you, like quiz scores, you've taken 6 quizzes and averaged 8 points across them. You take another quiz and got 15 points. Should your grade go up or down? Up indeed, right? So we added a new score. So the new number of scores is 7. There were 6. We put a new score in, so now there's 7 scores, not 6 scores. And we need to know the new summation of raw scores. It was 48 points, but we're putting 15 more points in the pile. So now we have a summation of raw scores of 63. So to get our mean, we're just going to divide 63 by 7. Let me make sure I've got this correct over here. 63 divided by 7. Sure enough, 9. So again, did the mean change? Yes. Did it change in the way we predicted and expected? Yes, it went up from 8. It went up to 9 last time too, but that was a coincidence. It won't always go up by a point. It could have been by anything. It just turned out to be that. So now let's do one last example here. We have a mean of 8 points. We have 6 scores in it. Again, we determined that the summation of raw scores is 48. And now I'm going to put a new score in, and the new score is worth 8 points. So now I want you to figure out for me, what is the value for the new mean? If you are using the formula in the calculator, good for you, but you're doing it the hard way. Remember, if the score you add or remove has the same value as the mean would not change at all. So really, you don't have to do any math. What's the new mean? It's 8, because the mean would not change. Now double check that with your math and make sure, but your new number of scores is going to be 7, 6 plus a new score, 7. Your new summation of scores, 48 plus 8 gives us 56. So therefore, the new mean, 56 divided by 7, is 8. So we landed right where we started. So again, notice the pattern is predict, then solve and see if your answer matches the prediction, at least whenever you can make a prediction. So these are some ways of solving different kinds of problems with the mean. And with this, we're done talking about the mean specifically. We're going to move on to other measures of central tendency. Okay, see you there.